On the south coast of England lies Hayling Island, a top destination for the sport of kitesurfing. A stone's throw away from Portsmouth, the island annually hosts the Virgin Kitesurfing Armada. The three-day festival aims to promote the sport, raise money for charity, and there's also an attempt at a new world record. Event organiser is Dan Charlish.
This is our biggest year ever, the Virgin Kitesurfing Armada, and we've done a lot more this year with trying to find ways for the community to get involved around here. So on the Friday we had 250 school kids come down, find out all about kitesurfing and wind energy in the environment. That was great. We've got a lot more of the industry involved than we've ever had before, which is brilliant, really helps support the festival.
Sponsored by Virgin owner Richard Branson, the festival is now in its fourth year. Raising over £160,000 for charity since it began, the event continues to go from strength to strength. Involved since the beginning is one of the world's finest kitesurfers, 31-year-old Lewis Crathern.
A festival like this brings the community together tenfold. People of different abilities, pro riders, amateurs, people that have just learned to kiteboard, can really go for this goal of 1 mile all together, you know, over 400 people. That's very special.
The risks involved with this sport are generally low, but earlier this year Lewis learned how things can go wrong even for the most experienced of riders.
I've had a big accident this year. I was in an induced coma for a week. I was competing in the Red Bull King of the Air, which is an extreme event, one of the highlights of the year for me, and I was doing really well. I was going all the way to the semi-finals and I hit my head, forgot everything else, and 2 weeks later I was released out of hospital after being in quite a serious accident, which has been very good for me, and the safety of the sport is also shone a spotlight on, but I'm happy to say I'm fighting fit and I'm all fine.
Throughout the weekend, special talks and lectures were organised for professional kite surfers to pass on their knowledge. The evening entertainment was more light-hearted, with a panel quiz, live band and a DJ set. These activities contributed to the community feel that the organisers were hoping for.
That's the nice thing about kitesurfing, particularly now with the equipment being so good, is that we've got huge age ranges getting involved. We've got the youngest guy here is 10 years old, the oldest is 75, lady called Judy. You know, that's great. It's good for the community. This is about the community of kitesurfers. It's not about pros. It's not a big air event or a competition where the top 1% might be competing. This is about the 99%, people that just love to kite at their local beach, want to come together once a year, put a rash vest on for an event, and do something fun and constructive. That's what this event is sort of founded on, and we want to keep that.
One lady who sums up the spirit of the Kitesurfing Armada is 75-year-old Judy Tomkinson.
I started 15 years ago and I was 60 then. It was for my 60th birthday. I was on holiday and I dared to do it. But in those days it was quite difficult, but now it's much easier. So anybody over 60 can start.
She looks so young still to be doing this sport and being out on the water. She's a great example that I like to use to all those people in their 30s or 40s who go, I'm way too old to be doing this. She's 75, you know, like, what a great woman.
Judy had the honour of being the first rider to begin the Kitesurfing Armada. The finale to the weekend was an attempt at the world record for the largest parade of kitesurfers. The previous record of 415 was set in South Africa earlier in the year. To ensure the validity of the record, Sophia Greenacre from Guinness World Records was in attendance.
We have measured out from the beginning of the parade to the end, and it has to be exactly a mile long. Now, all the kite surfers have to start at one end of the beach and then continue all the way down and finish at the other end. For this to be a legitimate record, there must be people in the water for the whole parade. The record attempt will finish once everyone's completed and there's no more people active in it.
Despite concerns that the wind wouldn't be strong enough for the record attempt, 20 knots blew in and the Armada began to build. Spectators on the beach were treated to the visual spectacle of hundreds of kites out on the water. the Armada began to decrease in size as riders landed a mile up the coast. Wristbands were cut off to keep track of who'd completed the course.
Well, I was very lucky. I made the mile of the Armada, which was the thing to do to get the Guinness record, but we have to get about 440 through, so whether we've done that, it's still early days. We might have made the record. I hope we have. It's so good. But we've all had fun, and we've had wind, and that's what we didn't expect to have, so thank goodness we got the wind.
It was really stressful actually, because we knew we were close and there were periods when the wind dropped off and a few kites weren't able to make the course and they were drifting in, and we knew that we'd got beyond the number at the start, but at the end they didn't have the number sufficient, so we were running around here trying to get kite surfers that hadn't signed up and down to the beach and away, and the last half an hour trying to get over the line was pretty stressful because the wind was dropping and it's getting dark and we needed to get it done.
But was the last-minute scramble to get more riders onto the water enough?
Right, hello everyone. Today you attempted the record for the largest parade of kite surfers. The record was set back in January with a total of 415. Now I can tell you that today the Virgin Kitesurfing Armada got a total of 423. Kitesurfing Armada, you are officially amazing.
I don't think this Virgin Kitesurfing Armada Festival could really have gone any better for us. It was a fantastic 3 days of kite surfing activities here at the festival, culminating in this amazing wind coming through right when we needed it in the last possible afternoon. 20 knots, perfect conditions for the record attempt, and somehow we managed to pull it off and sneak over the line and take that record back from South Africa, bring it back to Hayling Island in the UK with 423 kite surfers. So that was the dream actually, and I didn't think it would happen, but it's been absolutely fantastic. The effort and the commitment and the enthusiasm that everyone's put in to make this happen has been awesome.